Good afternoon, everyone. Hopefully this is a quick or a short update. I just got back from Bangkok Hospital Pattaya, where I had my prostate follow-up. Today is Friday, and last Friday I had the surgery. I spent 2 nights in hospital, was released, went to my hotel, where because it's high season and all this kind of stuff, I had to move to another hotel. And while I was leaving that first hotel, I slipped down the flipping ramp. I mentioned this before, but I'm just gonna continuity of story, right? So I hit like a ton of bricks on my bum. And my legs are up here and my arms are up here, and I boom right on the tile, which is over concrete. So, and my back lit up like a Christmas tree. I mean, instant pain. In fact, I screamed in pain. And then I started going, oh shit, not again. And because I've herniated L4 and L5, and I know what that feels like, this was worse. So I figured I'd take it easy for a couple of days. If it was really excruciating and I couldn't handle it, I would go to the hospital the next morning. But it was tolerable without painkillers, okay? I don't want to, not that I'm against painkillers, but I don't want to mask it and think I'm doing okay and then go for a nice long walk or something, even though I'm not supposed to with the prostate surgery. I'm not supposed to do anything strenuous for a minimum of 3 weeks. So I'm kind of sticking to that. Well, so I figured when I go for my follow-up today, I would tell him, you know, everything surgically wise is right on schedule. You know, he says you're going to have some burning for a few days, you're going to have some blood, blah, blah, blah. And that's exactly what's happening. And it's decreasing. Both are decreasing. And, you know, flow is good, which is great. And, you know, I was fine before I left the hospital, but then I hurt my back. And all you that have had backaches before, they could be a real downer. You know what I mean? You can't do much, and it really sucks. But getting up out of the chair, getting down in the chair, getting in and out of bed, rolling over in the bed, riding in a Bolt that has crap shocks is no fun. That kind of thing. The true relief I get is if I walk slowly. Okay? That even though all your upper body weight is mushing down on a herniated disc or a ruptured disc, or even a broken back, you know. On your vertebrae, you have those little tabs, you know. Those tend to break in certain circumstances. And they consider it a broken back, but it's not like you're going to compromise your spinal cord or anything like that with that. It just hurts like a mother. And they can cut in and remove that tab, or fuse it, literally stitch it, and it'll heal. But anyway, so when I saw my urologist, I said, okay, everything's great here. Now the next subject. And I told her, well, when I went to the hotel, blah, 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 and he was well aware of that. I said, when I was leaving, I fell down, bigger than shit, right on my prostate, because you know where your prostate is. And I was in a V, a flying V, fender, flying V. Boom. So all that pressure, my body weight, gravity, pounds per square inch, was right there on my prostate. And I thought, oh God. But the bleeding didn't increase, any of that kind of stuff. But the next day when I went to the mall, Tucum Central, then Terminal 21, I was stepping it out because I was angry. I was frustrated. And I was just hell-bent for election to get to where I wanted to go and get it over with. Because I'm tired and in pain. So my patience had worn paper thin. So I'm stepping it out. Well, that's a dumbass move. I started getting stomach cramps, and I initially wanted to go to Fuji to treat myself. I know it's not the best sushi in town or sashimi in town, right? But it's good enough for that fix, to get that fix. And I got to Fuji, and I just looked at the door and looked at the people and went and leaned up against the rail and said, Jesus, I just want to go home. In this case, hotel. So I did. And then I fought with myself on nothing sounds good whatsoever to eat. It was approaching dinner time. What am I going to do? So I just ordered a hodgepodge of stuff from Grab, from 5-Star Chicken, thinking that, if and when I get hungry, I got something. Of course, I've got a cup of noodles, I've got mashed potatoes, and everyone knows how much I love my mashed potatoes. My Superman mashed potatoes. Love them. Gosh, if they could only hand deliver them. Well, actually they have here, because they've really taken care of me at this hotel. Since the day I checked in, 2 hours and 15, 2 hours and 30 minutes early. The timing is up for debate. It doesn't matter. The point is, they saw me walking in the door, and they could tell I was in agony. And they know me by sight. The one gentleman knows me by name. Are you okay, Mr. Mitch? He thinks my last name is Mitch. He's not referencing YouTube. I think I said that before. But anyway, are you okay, Mr. Mitch? I said, no. I go hospital, have surgery. And then I fall down. Pain. Bad pain. So since that moment, they've been taking care of me. The young lady said, Well, first of all, she just reached right behind her and tapped on the window. Come in. That's the maid. Hello? Yes, can clean. They got the new guy. Shit, that means I won't get 4 bottles of water, because the young lady was giving me 4 bottles instead of 2. I was beginning to worry there. I may have to pause it. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna pause it. Please. Yeah. I just talk on phone. No problem. So, try to get myself back on track here. So after my urology appointment, I went to, I told him I fell, and he's like, oh God, Mitch. You know, he wants to call me bubble wrap like my cousin did. I'm saying, now Humpty Dumpty, I could deal with that, because I can make an emoji, you know, a lot easier than bubble wrap. People will get Humpty Dumpty. Joking aside, I said, yeah, I need to see ortho. He said, all right, I'll get the nurse working on that right now. And I said, I guarantee you the only way to prove my theory, because I've herniated discs before, I told you that. I know what it feels like, okay? I'm 62 years old. I've had 100 frickin' MRIs, 150 CTs, countless x-rays. I've been busted up, broken up, thrown out to the trash, run over by a bus, run over by a brother. You name it, I've had it done. You know, so, oh, sorry. Maybe he speaks English. But he said, he referred me to ortho. I went to ortho, and I said, hey, I'm flying out of here in 2 days, you know, so this is really just for peace of mind, because if I have herniated a disc or bulged or ruptured, what I do in the next 2 days isn't going to make that any worse, because I'm laying low, not doing anything strenuous. I'm even going to, when I check in, I'm even going to request wheelchair service. So they just haul my ass and my bags or my carry-on or whatever, because I ain't humping through Bangkok airport, you know, 2 clicks carrying my backpack. I'm not doing it. So, wheelchair service. It's free. Some people are embarrassed by it. Some people abuse the system. Well, I'm not, though. I'm in freaking pain. So I say, okay. He said, what do you want to do? We could do an x-ray. I said, yeah, but the x-ray is not going to be definitive on a disc, on soft tissue damage. It'll show bone damage, but correct. CT, out of the question, I said. Because you get radiation when you do a CT. And I'll look it up for the next time. And I've had a bunch. So I said, really, the only definitive is an MRI. He says, you're correct, because it will show bone damage and soft tissue damage. So I said, all right, let's do an MRI. Can you do it today? He says, I have to check the schedule. And then they had me sit back in the waiting area. The lady came out with the permission slip, whatever you want to call it. Yes, I want an MRI, yes. Less than I expected. But that doesn't include contrast. So you go with, or actually, you go without, and then with contrast, which gives you really, really good images, right? So they do the MRI, you're in there for days, right? Like an hour. And I'm claustrophobic. But anyway, they do that, and then they inject the contrast, and they do it again. So without, with contrast. So the contrast is another $5,000 or something like that. And I said, go for it, let's do it. And then a gentleman comes out and says, okay. I said, today? Oh no. I mean, this place was slammed. I've never seen it so busy in the orthopedic section. And I've been in there three times. I was talking to an American next to me. Of course, I had to crank my neck to hear him. But he said, good God, I got here this morning and there was nobody. No, my word, there was like wheelchairs lined up and all those chairs were full. They were busy. Well, the guy says, no, Sunday, 5 o'clock. Sunday, 5 o'clock, I'm going to be in my house in Chiang Rai. I said, that's not going to work. I'll go ahead and check out now. Go to my ortho guy in Bangkok Hospital, Chiang Rai, where I know I can be seen immediately and get an MRI lickety split. Pricing, I would imagine, would be quite the same or quite similar. So a couple days isn't going to kill me. That's what I'll do. I'll just lay low. I'm going to be out on the balcony here in a minute, but it's just too noisy right now. And that was pretty good. He took a wet white rag, and he was on one side of the room, and he slid it down on that shelf that has a light on it to clean it. So that was pretty cool. That's using your noggin. He's gonna do this. I got a rubber band holding it. Yeah, because there's no straps. And he's cleaning columns and everything. He knows I do. Miss a spot. So, yeah. Oop, let me get this here. This cap to my super glue. Hang on. That hurt. Oh, that hurt. That hurt my back a little bit. That's the thing I was looking for the other day. It's got a needle on there, a pokey tip, right? I use my clothespin. At any rate, so I've called Chiang Rai Hospital already, and I'm waiting for them to ring me back because I get there Sunday afternoon. Monday I want an appointment. Now if they don't call me back, I'm just going to show up on Monday, and because they do that. You know, so interesting. They've got a couple of gentlemen cleaning rooms in the afternoons. Pretty cool. I mean, that's good. So much for short, huh? So when I get back to Chiang Rai, I'll go see my orthopedic guy, get an MRI, and then I'll go from there. But I know I have a herniated disc minimum. Hope it's not ruptured. Herniated we could deal with if it's not too severe. You know, I've got back exercises that are like ingrained in my head because I've done so many of them, that strengthens things around your spine, allowing your disc to heal. Aside from that, I'm aging, and I do have some degenerative disc disease, right? You guys can Google that. Most of you already know. So, yeah. This could have an impact on my all kinds of things. Riding motorcycles is one of them. So that's why I don't rush into, you know, buying shit. It's like waiting makes it taste better, you know. It's like, oh yeah, that pie comes out of the oven. It's gonna be, oh man, it's gonna be so great. Smell, the house is all smelling up, or fresh bread, right? Or waiting for Christmas morning instead of Christmas Eve. Oh, I gotta open a present. I can wait. I'll wait. No, everyone else open theirs. That's fine. I'll wait for mine in the morning, and then I get it like an extra one. Tastes sweeter. So I've got plans for Christmas. Speaking of holidays, Thanksgiving has already passed. I've got plans for Christmas, but those may get waylaid at a moment's notice. Unfortunately, I could be back in the States. I hope not, for a number of reasons, but at any rate, I'm going to be going back, whether it's this month or next month or the month after, you know. You kind of get the gist. No problem. No problem.
How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, sir.
Good, good. Thank you for all of your help.
Oh, okay.
I appreciate it. Everyone here has been very good to me.
Eat Thai food.
Oh, yeah.
You eat Thai food?
Yeah.
Oh, like it?
Not too much rice. I love Thai food. I love Thai food.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Right now I want lab moo. I'm craving lab moo. Som tom Thai. It's good for me. Pat kaprao.
Papaya, pop.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So anyway, I wish I spoke the language, like some of my friends do. Yeah, I actually have some real friends. 24 minutes. This is going straight up. I'll throw an intro on it. Hope you enjoy the update. I think that's about it for now. There's really nothing else to say. I pretty much know it's a herniated disc, minimum. I know the pain. I've been down this road before. The question again is, how bad? We'll know. There's one comment I'm going to edit out of this, because that individual doesn't need to be mentioned, doesn't deserve the attention. And it's a family member, in case you're asking, or in case you're curious. Oh, only two. Can I have more? More water?
Okay. Why not?
That's gonna bring me water. That means I'm gonna have to put out. Ah, cup kung cup.
Okay. No problem. When I check out on the 30th, I will seek him out. Because I appreciate that. Neighbor across the hall. Neighbors. I think they're German. I've had too much conversation with them, just in the elevator, really. Waved at them on their way down to the pool, fortunately. I don't think they're gap year, I think they're just on holiday. 25 to 30 years old. When I was stationed over there, since we're babbling, since I'm babbling, there were a lot of attractive German women. Lots of them. I don't know if I'd want to live with one. But, you know, they were, you know, just like anywhere else in the world. There's ugly, and then there's handsome, or there's beautiful, and there's not so beautiful. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. All right, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.